In this lesson, you're going to learn how to post your jobs in the Alliance tool and get social proof and traffic to your products and content. Posting jobs in the Alliance tool is a simple process, but you must ensure that you follow the instructions carefully. You're going to learn how to post all jobs, but at this point we are probably only going to be using the social jobs. This is because at this point you probably haven't got enough reviews to use the review voting jobs. Review voting jobs are a little different than social jobs, as we are not going to be posting any content, and it's important that you only use the minimum credits required to move a review up or down. Do not use credits just for the sake of it. This will make a lot more sense when we actually log into Amazing.com and I show you exactly how the review voting works. So I've logged into Amazing.com, I've clicked on Tools in the top bar and I've gone to the Alliance tool. As you can see, by default it goes to the Complete Jobs page, but we want to go to the Post Job page. Now, as I said, I'm going to show you all of these jobs, but we're going to start with the Pinterest repin, then we're going to look at Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, and then finally we'll look at the product review voting. So to post a repin, all you need to do is on the far right, click on the plus button under Actions where it says Add Job. Now, as with everything else, you get full instructions on exactly what to do. So you need to log into your Pinterest account and pin the image you want to promote. So with this job, you can only use existing pins and have them repinned. You cannot use any URL you like. So basically you need to log into your Pinterest account, find a pin that you want to repin and use that for this job. Bear in mind that pin is going to get a lot of exposure and probably quite a lot of traffic. So you want to make sure you use a pin that's valuable to you. So I haven't got any product pins on this page, so we're actually going to start with an example. And what we can do with this, we can actually use the Pin It on Pinterest button on the page itself. So you click on it, you pick the board you want it on. For the sake of this, I'm just going to put it in my favorite pins again. Then you can click on See It Now, and there's your pin. And it's very, very simple to copy the URL of that pin and then put it into the Pinterest URL. Now quickly going back to this, if for some reason this doesn't show up correctly, all you need to do is go back to your account again, find the board where it was pinned, put your mouse cursor over the pin, click it, and there's your pin URL. So we've put the Pinterest URL in. We might want to give this a file name to make it easier for us to find. So for instance, we might put Horsehead Mask Pin so we know what we're pinning. This is only used for your purposes. Now it's worth mentioning here that all of these menus have a question mark on the right hand side. If you click on it, it tells you what it's about. And note here, this file name is optional. We strongly recommend you use it because it will make it easier for you to identify different jobs. Now, total actions. You're probably not going to have a lot of credits to start with, but the beauty of this system is you can start with a low number of actions, and then when you get more credits through doing jobs that we discussed in the previous lesson, you can come back, edit the post, and add more actions. So for the sake of this, we're going to add 3. And this basically means that your pin is going to get repinned 3 times by different members on their Pinterest account. Now I'm going to leave the actions as 1 per day. Again, you can change this, but we strongly recommend leaving it as 1 per day. The job interval, this you can actually spread out, which can be useful if you're using a lot of credits, but in this case we're only using 3, so we might as well just use every day. Job running, you leave that as the default, and the start date, we recommend you leave that as the default too. And basically we've actually ready to post our job. All we need to do then is click Add Job. And there we go. We've now switched to the Manage Job screen, and there's our pin. Now, what I mentioned earlier about coming back and adding more actions, it's very simple to do. So for instance, if all your jobs have been finished, total actions remaining would say 0, and the same for daily actions remaining. So all you need to do is you would come back in to the second icon here, which is set Edit Job when you put your mouse on it, click on it, and then all you need to do is come back and add more actions here. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to do that, but that's what you do if your job runs out of actions and you want more actions for that job. So that's the repin. Really, really simple to post. Let's go back to Post Job. The next one we're going to deal with is Share on Facebook. So again, we're going to click on the Add Job icon under Actions. So I've put Facebook Share Horsehead Mask. The URL, we go back to it. Now we can actually just take this URL, copy it, go back here and paste it in. Now it's worth noting, you can use any URL you like for a Facebook share. except one, and that is a Facebook share. So you can't take the URL of an existing Facebook share and get people to reshare it. It's the only restriction. You can use any other URL you wish. Obviously, this is moderated, so any kind of spam topics will not be approved. But obviously, none of you are going to be doing that because all you're interested in is promoting your actual physical products and pages related to them. Now again, I'm going to use total actions of 3, 1 action per day, everyday job running. Again, I'm going to leave them all as default. And once more, all you need to do is click on Add Job. Now it's worth noting what it says right at the top. Facebook, Twitter and Pinterest jobs, that should be Pinterest repin jobs, can have a maximum of 100 total actions. That is the limit right now on being able to post one URL to any of these jobs, or in the case of Pinterest, one pin. It's probably something you're never going to reach, but it's worth noting. So I'm done, Add Job, and there's our second job. Okay, I'm going to go back to Post Jobs again, and this time we're going to do Twitter. So again, we click on Add Job. So I'll give them the file name again, Twitter, Horsehead Mask. I'm going to go and grab that URL again. And remember, you should be using your canonical URL for the first time you post jobs, just to get a bit of link juice to it. But it's also worth mentioning that there are going to be a lot of other URLs you get from completing Module 4 that you can put in here too. Like you'll be creating a video. You can put that URL in. You'll be creating a website. You can put that URL in here. So you're probably realizing now that you are going to need more credits. So you're going to need to complete jobs for other people as much as you can so that you can get more credits for this. Now, there's a slight exception with the Twitter job, and that is that we now allow you to control the title text for your Twitter job. So basically, you would type in your URL in the box for URL. And if we go back here, I'm just going to steal this here because it's easy for me to do. But for this title, you can put anything you like. And essentially, it's the text that is going to appear before the actual URL in the Twitter tweet. Total actions. I'm going to put 3. And again, I'm leaving everything else as default. And again, just click Add Job. And there you go. We've now done a share for Facebook, a share on Twitter, and a Pinterest repin. Let's go back to our post jobs. The next one we're going to do is a YouTube video comment. Basically, I'm clicking on the plus button again. I'm giving it the title name Minions video comment. I think you know what video is coming next. I'm going to go to YouTube, found the video I want to post. Obviously, this should be one of your own videos. Don't go and do movie trailers. I just don't want to use one of my own product URLs here in the example. So you copy the URL, you come back, you paste the URL in. Total actions, again, I'm going to make it 3, 1 per day, and leave everything else as is. Now, if I click on edit here, there's something I want to show you that I should have mentioned before. And that is you need to have comments allowed in your video. If you don't, it means that comments have to be moderated. And that means that we can't moderate it when a member posts it because the comment's not going to appear until you approve it. In those situations, we're going to stop your job posting. As soon as someone reports that their comment didn't appear straight away, we will block your video from being allowed as a job until you fix it. So it's very important you do that. The instructions are very straightforward. From settings, select Video Manager, click the edit button next to your YouTube video. Underneath your video, click the advanced settings, and you're actually going to see this in action. When we create our first video, I'm going to show you all this. And then under comments, verify allow comments is checked and the drop down is set to all. Again, you're going to see all this in the creating your first video and uploading it to YouTube. But it's absolutely critical that you make sure that comments are allowed on your video. So let's go back. So we've now done all the social jobs. We've posted a social job for all of them. And if you look at this, the Twitter one, it's already had a job done for it. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm now going to pause all of these so as not to waste credits. And it's really simple to do. You click on Edit Job. Under Job Status, you click Job Stopped and Update Job. Okay, you'll now see it's got a white flag. Okay, so as you can see, I've now stopped all those jobs. But now let's go back to Post Job. And the final one we're going to look at is Post Review Not Helpful and Post Review Helpful. Now, essentially, these are both the same. And the first thing I'll do is I'll actually show you what the job looks like. You can see it's exactly the same as all the others. All you need is the product review URL. But first, I need to show you how exactly this works and why we do it. Also, it's worth noting you can only have a maximum of total 10 actions on this. Now, if you find you desperately need more, you can contact support and they will allow a specific review to have more than 10 actions, but you must have a good reason and they must agree with you. But let's go take a look at the reason we use this. So going back to our example product listing, if you scroll down to get to the reviews, you'll see that these are in a specific order, and the default is going to be most helpful customer reviews. Well, the way Amazon works this out is more often than not, because it's not always the case, but more often than not, it's a percentage of good to bad. So if a specific review had 10 helpful votes and 10 unhelpful votes, it would have 10 of 20 people found the following review helpful. Now, to try and make this a little bit more clear, I've actually gone to an example here of the old favorite silicone spatula, and this one's got 9 customer reviews. So if we scroll down to look at the reviews, we're going to be able to see a little bit closer what's going on. So right now, these top 2 most helpful have both got 1 of 1 people found the following review helpful. But for this top one, if I was to click on no, and so I was voting it as unhelpful, then would have 1 of 2 people found this review helpful, and it would drop below this one, because this would still have 100% positive. Now these other reviews haven't got any votes at all, and I'm assuming the rest of them are the same, but let's take a look. If we click on all the reviews, and again we're going to change it to most helpful, you can see that none of them have got reviews. But for instance, say this was your page, and this particular review here was fantastic and you wanted it to be at the top, then you could create a job for this review to vote it helpful. And all it would need is 2 helpful votes, and it would automatically overtake both of the ones that have 1 of 1 people, because it would be 2 of 2 people. And that's the whole point of using product review voting. It's to get your best reviews on your product listing and not on page 2 or page 3 of reviews. Now, if you've only got 2 or 3 reviews, if you've only got 4 or 5 reviews and they're all good reviews, then there's no point in doing any kind of review voting. However, if you have 5 and one of them is really bad, then you might want that to appear at the bottom. But instead of voting the 4 up to overtake it, you just want to vote that bad review as unhelpful. Now, it's very important that you do this little by little, because even though you might get your math right and the percentages right, someone else may vote in a review while you're doing this. Amazon might choose to display your reviews differently that day. So it's very important you do a little bit at a time. Remember, you've only got 10 to play with, so only use 2 or 3 at a time. Again, just like the other jobs, you can always come back and add more actions if you need to. So it's very important that you experiment a little bit. If you see a review, you want to move it up or move 1 review down, then add 2 or 3 to it. Come back in 3 or 4 days' time and have another look. See if those votes, either helpful or unhelpful, have moved it to where you want it to be. But that is the key to review voting. It's taking your time. It's not just using credits for the sake of using them, and doing a little bit at a time, and then seeing what happens after those actions have been done. So now that you know why we do this and the way to do it in terms of moving them up and down, let's show you exactly how to do this actually as a job. So I've gone back to the main page here, and I'm going to scroll down, and let's say, for the sake of arguments, that I wanted to vote this unhelpful a couple of times because it was a bad review and I wanted to move it down. It's very simple. All you need to do is click on the title, and if you're going to do more than 1 on a specific page, you can just open it in a new tab. And this gives you the review page itself. Every review has its own page. And then what we need is we need everything up to the end of the identifier, which is this big long number, and that's all we need. So you copy that. You don't need all the other reference and the numbers and everything else that's on here. You just need the amazon.com/review/ the long number / Copy that, you go back to your job page, you paste in that URL. Remember, we said we were pretending we were going to vote this down. Don't worry, I'm going to make this live and then delete it straight away. I don't want to attack this poor person's product. You choose the number of actions, and remember, always do a few at a time, 2 or 3 at a time, and watch it and see how it goes. For this, you could actually do 3 all in one day if you're in a hurry, but again, I strongly recommend you leave it at the default. So basically, this is going to take 3 days for this review to get the unhelpful votes. Then you go back and you check to see if it's moved it where you want it to be. But once you've set it all up, it's exactly the same as the others. You just click Add Job. Okay, and there it is. Now I'm going to pause this job straight away. And that's basically all there is to creating a review job not helpful. Review job helpful, I'm not going to show you that one because it's exactly the same. But obviously you're looking to get positive votes for it instead of negative. So it's something you'd want to move up. But as I say, they're both exactly the same to set up. So I'm not going to show you another one. And remember, this is all about keeping your best possible reviews on your actual listing page, not further down on page 2 or 3. So once again, what is next? In the next lesson, we will take a look at creating more social proof by building our own Facebook page. And there's a classic example of a URL that we can use in the Alliance tool. Once you've created your Facebook page, you can come back and create social jobs for that URL. But that's it for this lesson. Take care.